So for the question on the left, what is the p-value when the population proportion of successes is 50%? So that tells us that our sub O here is going to be 50% or 0.50. Let's change the font here and make that a little bit bigger. The sample size is 65, so n equals 65. And the number of successes of the sample is 30. So that means our p hat is going to be 30 over 65. And that's going to equal 0.4615. So all we need to do now is put these values into this equation to find our z-score. And we want to be careful not to round into the very, very end. So when you can simplify, you want to. So for example, 0.4615 minus 0.5 is going to be 0.0 or negative 0.0385. 0.5 times 1 minus 0.5, that's really going to be 0.5 times 0.5. So for the numerator part of the denominator, that'll be 0.25. Really, it's the square root of the whole thing. And then you try to put this in the calculator one step. Use the parentheses, double check this. You could also use Excel. And we should get a value of about negative 0.6207. And then now we can use technology, Excel, to find out what the p-value is. That's a negative sign there. Everything's going wrong here with my mouse. Or you can use a table. If we use the table, don't use the one that's circled there in red. We want to take this one here in green, because I'm going to do in green because there's the negative 0.6 is right there, and the negative, or the 0.0202 is right here. So we find out where it crosses, which is right here at 0.2676. Also, we could also use, I'm going to just copy and paste it or type this in. We could also use Excel, and what you would want to do is type in this here. Let's make that equal sign in front of it. This would also tell you the p-value. And this is to the left-hand side. That's why we don't use like 1 minus. It's a left-tail test. So going on to the next question, I got to delete some of this stuff. They have a political campaign that's considering the letter to send. We're convinced that more than 4% recipients will respond with donations. So that means our P sub O here is going to be 0.04. Our P hat is, we received 24 recipients out of 500, so we're going to do 24 divided by 500. Sorry about the writing there. Let's try that again. And that's going to equal 0.048. 0.048, there we go. And of course, our n is 500, so we have all the listed values. Now we just got to plug them into our equation carefully. And again, work this out however you need to, but this should give us a value of about 0.91. And again, we could go to the z table, which I showed before here, and this one they give it to you, which is going to be, which is nice. Sometimes they don't do that. Cross section of 0.9 and 0.01, which gives us 0.819, but that's not going to be our answer. This is a right-tailed test. We have to subtract it, so it's going to be 1 minus 0.819, which is about 0.181. And if we used Microsoft Excel, we would just type in the item there below, the 1 minus normal distribution, 0.9101, true. Make sure you got your commas. Be really careful putting it in. If you have any questions, please email me.